Tomas lived in the village of Eldergrove. He was a stonecutter. Every day he chipped away at rough stones. He shaped them into blocks for houses and walls. It was hard work, but it was honest work. Tomas was content. Tomas lived in a small cottage at the edge of the village. He had a kind heart and was always ready to help his neighbors. Everyone in Eldergrove liked Tomas. They admired his simple, honest life. One day, Tomas was working in the quarry. He was splitting a large boulder. His pickaxe struck something hard. It was not stone. He brushed away the dust and rubble. He saw a gleaming purple stone. It fit perfectly in his hand. The stone was warm to the touch. It pulsed with a soft light. There were strange markings on it. Tomas turned it over and over in his hands. He had never seen anything like it. As he traced the markings, words appeared as if by magic. "Your heart's desire, this stone shall grant, but choose with care, for wishes can't be recant." Tomas stared at the stone. He read the words again and again. A wish. He could have anything he desired. His thoughts raced. What would he wish for? Then it came to him. Wealth. He would be the richest man in Eldergrove. He closed his eyes. He held the stone tightly. "I want to be rich," he wished with all his might. The stone pulsed warmer. It glowed brighter. Then it all went quiet. The stone felt cold. It looked just like an ordinary stone. The next morning, Tomas woke up. His cottage was gone. In its place stood a grand mansion. It was filled with fine furniture. He had servants and gold. He had everything he ever thought he wanted. At first, Tomas was happy. He enjoyed his newfound wealth. But soon, things changed. His neighbors became envious. They whispered about his sudden wealth. Friends became rivals. They wanted what he had. Tomas felt alone. His wealth had built a wall between him and the people he cared about. Section 5. The Illusion of Happiness. Tomas was lonelier than ever. He realized that wealth did not bring happiness. It brought him only envy and suspicion. He remembered the stone. He still had one wish left. This time, he wished for something different. "I wish to be happy," he declared. "I want friends who love me for me." The stone glowed brightly. When it faded, Tomas found himself surrounded by people. They laughed and danced. They called him their friend. Finally, he felt happy. He was not alone. He was surrounded by people who cared about him, or so he thought. Section 6. Shackles of Obligation. Tomas soon realized that his new friends were not true friends. They were drawn to his wealth. They showered him with praise and flattery, but they did not care about him. He was just a means to an end. They wanted his money. They wanted his possessions. Tomas felt trapped. His wish had backfired. He was surrounded by people, but he was more alone than ever. They weren't friends. They were a burden. He had to entertain them. He had to buy their affection. It was exhausting. It was not true happiness. Section 7. A Change of Heart. One night, Tomas sat alone in his grand mansion. He was surrounded by riches, but he felt empty inside. He looked at the purple stone in his hand. It was his last wish. He closed his eyes. He thought about his life. He thought about what was truly important. He didn't need wealth. He didn't need false friends. He just wanted to be content. He wanted to live a simple life. He wanted to be surrounded by genuine people who cared about him. He wanted to be the stonecutter he once was. Section 8. The Wisdom of Simplicity. With a heavy heart but a clear mind, Tomas made his final wish. "I wish for a simple life, free from desire and discontent," he whispered. The stone glowed one last time. Its light enveloped Tomas. Then, everything went quiet. When Tomas opened his eyes, he was back in his humble cottage. The sun was rising. He could hear the birds singing. He felt a sense of peace. It was a peace he had not felt since finding the stone. He was back where he belonged. Section 9. The Joy of Contentment. Tomas went back to his work as a stonecutter. He greeted his neighbors with a genuine smile. He was no longer the richest man in Eldergrove. But he was the happiest. He had learned a valuable lesson. True happiness did not lie in wealth or material possessions. It lay in the simplicity of life. It lay in the joy of honest work. It lay in the comfort of true friendships. Section 10. The True Measure of Wealth. Tomas lived out his days in Eldergrove. He was a stonecutter. He was a friend. He was content. He had found the true measure of wealth. It wasn't about what you owned. It was about what you valued. And Tomas valued the simple things in life. The magical stone was a distant memory. It taught him a lesson he would never forget. Happiness is not found in chasing after fleeting desires. It is found in appreciating the simple blessings of life.